even if you are, in a way, committing to a tower push, if IG want to blow everything they have for a support like that, MVP Hot 6 are probably going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, right now, MVP Hot 6 are going to be really happy about the fact that their Zeus offlane is level 8. He hasn't really had time to run around anywhere, but he's just done a good job of soaking experience bottom. He knows when Luo is off the map, and he's just been playing incredibly safe. He's just doing a really good job of keeping up in levels, but the problem right now that MVP Hot 6 are going to run into is that the Shadow Fiend does have a fully completed mech, and it's going to be hard for them to get into straight 5v5 engagements without a little bit more in items. Like, the Bloodseeker is probably going to go for the SNY, but until he gets that full component, it's going to be hard for him to just run in and charge. Maybe even pre-BKB it's going to be difficult for him, as they do have enough lockdown for him.
3-man smoke from MVP Hot 6. We'll see if they find anybody, but in the meantime, I want to talk about that. Why do you think we don't see a Bloodseeker go for the Hand of Midas, which is quite popular on core Bloodseekers? Is the tempo of this game perhaps just too fast?
I just think that Forev recognizes that the Bloodseeker isn't going to be able to go late game against the Phantom Lancer. I've seen it time and time again. Yes, you have the Bloodright, which is an AoE, but you don't want to just build into items that fight against the Phantom Lancer because it's a losing fight. He burns too much mana, he can disengage too quickly. You don't want to go toe-to-toe, and so it's better to just simply build for the mid-game and run at the Phantom Lancer so he just can't build up an item lead.
I like this setup. MVP Hot 6, they didn't actually find a kill as they smoked up through the enemy jungle, but they did take away the rune vision from IG in that bottom area. Plus, they also got some very aggressive vision up, and they now are surrounding Burning. Go see if there's any TPs here. The Silence is going to be able to land on Burning, already leading things up. They're just going to pop him real quick. Heen is kind of stuck here, but that's okay. None of IG are actually rotating over. In fact, they're still trying to go for that middle tier 1 tower push. But Jerix is here now with the Fissure to be able to intercept, perhaps push these heroes back alongside Sunbeam. More TPs coming in. MP leading things off. There goes the Fissure for already dropping a bit low. IG not going to be able to get that tower. It will be denied. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Forev actually going to be hit by the Spirit Breaker here. Intercepted, though, by Heen. The Silence is going to come out, and Spirit Breaker thought he could take this one. Even with a 17%, there's no way he could beat out the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, that's the strength of the Bloodseeker right there. With the Thirst, after that bash is done, he's pretty much just going to kite you in a circle. That Bloodright, he's opting to go for the max on it, and it's paying off huge dividends as they were able to kill Burning at bottom. They just killed the Spirit Breaker, and MVP Hot 6 are doing a good job of controlling the map right now. They've taken out...
Speak a little bit more about the choice of Bloodright, though. I mean, it seems to be paying off, but why do you think he went for that decision, especially since he has potentially really good combo heroes in both the Zeus and the Lina?
I don't think he wants the damage increase on the other side where you just take a ton of damage, because his heroes are still squishy, and if the Phantom Lancer lances you once and you get nuked by the Shadow Wave, that could potentially just mean more than half your HP. So I think he opted to go for the Bloodright because he's got so many abilities that can line it up. You've got MP who can land a stun, you've got Heen who can just ice path in that general direction, you've got the Earthshaker Fissure, which might be the best combination between the two. So he's got a lot of different ways to set this up, and he's incredibly comfortable with that.
He's in a bit of trouble here. Lil starts off with the charge. Already the Zeus ultimate going off. Just trying to keep the rest of IG back. There goes the ultimate. And the Spirit Breaker will be caught here. He's ruptured up and trying to run himself out of here. He's got the Shallow Grave TP away. No stuns coming out. The Lightning Bolt is there to stop at the last half second. And MVP Hot 6 do pick up the kill and save Heen at the same time. Looks like they may be able to now go for a middle tower push as well.
And that was just a really great rotation by everyone from MVP Hot 6. They realized that at that HP range, it doesn't even matter if the Shadow Fiend goes for the mech. Good rotation by Sunbeam. You know, sometimes Sunbeam has struggled in this tournament to keep up in levels and farm with the rest of his team, but it's actually Luo this game that is struggling so hard. He's got the Cloak, which probably means that he's going to go for the Glimmer Cloak, which makes sense against his lineup, but he's so far away from it, and more importantly, Sunbeam's just keeping up in levels, whereas he's not.
Ferrari once again trying to take a tier 1 tower, but MVP Hot 6 are just not giving any room to IG. Now it's going to be IG teleporting back to their tower to see if they can defend, but it's a bit too late. Chuan steals the Fissure, looking for that opening, but it's not going to be good enough. MVP Hot 6 have already retreated safely at a distance. 2-4 right now, 15 minutes in, and MVP Hot 6 are beginning to get a bit of a net worth lead and hoping to be able to snowball this game forward. Especially with the Eul Scepter coming in for the Lina, this will mean potentially easy pickoffs, especially on some of these core positions. IG, I think the biggest item they can pick up right now is finishing the BKB for Ferrari. Charges coming in. MVP Hot 6. Looks like they're going to be losing MP right away. Nice Fisher to intercept there from Jerix, but MP is still caught and immediately blown up. But it's still the Spirit Breaker on the wrong side of the Fisher and will be chased down by Forev. The rest of IG leave it up for a 1-for-1 exchange.
They actually have to disengage here because the rest of MVP can filter in, and there's no tower for IG to run to. So Forev doesn't have mana for his Rupture, but I still think this is kind of a wonky fight for them to take. I guess they trust in Ferrari's farm. He is level 11 with the mech up, the Ogre Club completed, and a Magic Wand, so the turnaround potential is high, but still.
Burning starts going for Sunbeam here. He doesn't actually have anything, no TP whatsoever. He's going to be run down for the next Lance, and Burning does pick up a kill. Help facilitate a bit more farm. I was just about to comment on the fact that he seems a bit behind with just runs, treads, and a bottle right now, but that kill will certainly help, bumping up to the 6k net. We're still 1,000 gold behind this Bloodseeker, but it's really Ferrari, who, as you said, IG are trusting in farm-wise.
Forev is deciding to go for the BKB instead of finishing the SNY, and I think he realizes that his team probably wants to get into fights earlier than him finishing the SNY into the BKB. That tells me that they want to go to Roshan sooner, and to be able to get into a fight into that Rosh pit. If he has an Aegis, they probably, or if he has a BKB, they probably can't lose that fight, especially since a lot of what the Spirit Breaker is able to put out is magical damage. Like the Greater Bash is a passive, but it is magic. So it should be able to help quite a lot in just reducing the damage, even though it doesn't push spell immunity. But MVP Hot 6, they're struggling to keep up the levels, actually. That seems to be their biggest issue right now, is the Shadow Fiend just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, he's closing in on that BKB pretty quickly. The rest of IG, well, they may get a decent bump in experience if they find the opportunity for a dive in this top lane. Sunbeam is hiding himself in the trees right now. Rest of MVP Hot 6, I'm sure, are ready to TP back. They've been pretty quick to move around the map in these sort of situations, so IG don't really go for it. MVP Hot 6, however, will go for the tier 2 tower push in the bottom lane. They've got the combination of Jakiro and that Blood Rage from Blood.
That does so much.
Glyph already going out, but Liquid Fire after Liquid Fire being spammed out, if they could actually get this tower, Heen will be very close to completing a mech of his own to kind of even out the mech advantage that IG have right now.
It's doing 130 damage to the tower every single time he casts it, and I think that IG realized that it's just a losing effort. He's actually taking it so quickly. Ferrari, he has an invis rune. Do they have any sentries for this? I don't actually think they have any idea that this is coming, as Luo is coming in from the top, Burning's TPing in, and Ferrari with the chase.
Nice intercept. Luo's immediately going to be stopped there by the Ice Path. He still gets off the ultimate, but he has Rupture on him, and Frev wants to be able to pick up this kill, but it's going to be slowed down by Shalgrave. MP, meanwhile, turns as much damage as possible onto Ferrari, but he's still going to be blown up immediately by the raises. Spirit Breaker gets out, and MVP Hot 6 lose their Lina. Sunbeam comes in, but the rest of IG are still very healthy again. This Bloodseeker just isn't going to get a whole lot of stacks on his passive right now.
Yeah, part of the problem right there was that Forev actually had the Rupture stolen by him, and Chuan actually just used it on MP, and so it was pretty much impossible for them to fight, and at the same time they did manage to grab Luo, as Jax is going to get Phantom Lanced over here, but he should be just fine.
Yeah, they don't want to be diving into a tier 1 tower. IG playing a very controlled game right now. I'm sure they feel like economy-wise they are catching up or even staying ahead of MVP Hot 6 by now, especially with our SF getting so big, about to hit that 10k marker.
The Shadow Fiend is honestly really making this game incredibly difficult for MVP Hot 6, because MVP Hot 6, they have to continue to pressure now much sooner than they would like, and Forev decides to go back for the Sanjin Yasha. I guess that Ogre Club was just meant for a little bit more HP. Do they have a medallion on anybody? No. But this should still be a pretty easy Roshan for them with the Blood Rage.
Yeah, the Blood Rage, the increase in damage, allows you to be able to do Roshan so early, even if it is still only level 1. We've got a decent amount of right-click damage out as well from even some of their supporting casts, such as Jakiro with that Liquid Fire. IG, though, realize what's going on. The charge goes right through the Roshan pit, and now it's put Heen up on the cliff. Meanwhile, Sunbeam, he's going to be stopped. He actually tried to go for the TPL, but Lewis says, no way, you're going to be the first one dead in this fight. MVP Hot 6 trying to turn this one around, actually start backing themselves up. Forev Turning around, Heen stuck on the cliff, still in trouble, but MVP Hot 6 have no way to be able to help him out. Heen's just waiting for his opportunity to TP away, goes for it now, but the TP, it completes just in time ahead of the ice pad for F. Dropping lower, MP still has the Laguna blade, and IG think about diving that tier 1 tower, but realize it's a bit too dangerous. And once again, look at the HP pools on IG. They are all completely maxed out. That's the power of this early mech plus Dazzle combination.
And they haven't had to extend the BKB charge on the Ferrari yet. Good kill onto Sunby. And MVP Hot 6, that could have been a lot worse for them, but this is going to mean a tier 1 tower that they can't really afford to give up, because map control is so crucial to their strategy right now, as the Shadow Fiend just continues to skyrocket in net worth. 10k, 2.5k over the Bloodseeker. That's almost half of his S&Y that he's up ahead.
And at this rate, we're going to have a Diffusal Blade for our Phantom Lancer.
Oh, what did he just kill, actually? Well, Ferrari just killed something on the ground that made him lose net worth for the Bloodseeker. I'm not quite sure what it was, but still, any little thing happens at this point is significant for MVP Hot 6, because Ferrari, I can't stop talking about it, but you can't ignore his hero, and Burning is just doing such a good job of catching back up into the game. He's already usurped the Bloodseeker, the second highest net worth in the game, and MP doesn't really have anything that's really going to change this next fight.
Such good vision around the pit from IG right now. I mean, they've got this whole entire area completely controlled. So MVP Hot 6 are not really going to find the opening for Roshan. They're really desiring. Now Sunby, he's going to be caught. Nice ice path from Chuan to start things out. And Sunby, well, he pops his ultimate, realizing he's going to be blown up right away. In fact, our Spirit Breaker targets a large amount of damage from the Laguna Blade. Nice race from Ferrari to finish off the Zeus, and now they keep moving forward. Ian slowed down by that lance, but IG, charge in. Fisher already stopping. He's taking a ton of damage, but already the Shallow Grave is out, and now here comes that damage reduction out from Ferrari. Ferev is just not finding the openings he really needs. Once again, the Dazzle is always there with the heals and the Shallow Grave to stop the single target focus of IG.
And this is the problem when you're a melee core against a team that has an insane amount of heals and a Shadow Fiend. You just can't really approach without the BKB. You can kite all around all you want, but as long as IG just kind of move his force in the unit, it's incredibly hard for them to get gone on, as Chuan just keeps stealing relevant spell after relevant spell. He's got the Arc Lightning level 4. It's not going to make too much of a difference, but it just makes this fight so difficult for them.
He's got to be careful here. Ferrari is looking for that long-range raise, but is it going to find it? Top lane's also pushing in. Spirit Breaker quick to move over and deal with that one. MVP Hot 6 feels like they got to sit back and farm their next round of items, because clearly these team fights are not changing for them anytime soon. Jerix is closing in on the Blink Dagger, but could be stopped here. Nice turnaround Fisher, but immediately countered as Chuan catches that one, grabs him with the telekinesis, and Spirit Breaker finishes them off with the Phantom Lancer on the side.
And time after time, Chuan just stealing spell after spell. That must have been the 4th time he's taken Fissure for himself, and he's put it to even better use than Jerix can right now, as IG are just rolling to whatever they want to do at this point. With the mech up and the Dazzle always backing them up with the Shallow Grave and the Shadow Wave. If you look at his skill build, he's actually just opted to go all in for both of these abilities. So he realizes all he has to do is wait for his team to get low, spam the heal, and Grave when the Bloodseeker tries to run at him.
Yeah, I don't see really any item progression from MVP Hot 6. I mean, even that Blink Dagger, the Blink Dagger small minor item for Sunby that he's kind of had a large amount of gold in the bank, kind of trying to finish that one up. Heen also trying to finish up his mech as well, but it's been so significantly delayed that it feels like it may not matter anymore. It's going to really be that BKB from Ferev that could make a big difference for MVP Hot 6, but it's still a ways away. NP now has an Oak Club. Does this mean we're going to be seeing a BKB out from him? Or does he still go for the Aghanim Scepter and is just chosen to forego the early point booster that